again, everybody, to the Alan's High Cap Adventure Radio program. We are here again with Alan Lynch for the Cross-Eyed Bull in the Grove, Texas, between Belton and Gatesville and Highway 36. And I'm sure Alan's going to be talking to us about some really wild stuff today at the Cross-Eyed Bull. He's got so much stuff, you need to come on out here and check it out. But we're going to go inside and talk to Alan right now and see what he's got to tell us and see what he's got to show us. All right, everybody, we're inside the store. I'm going to do a quick pan around once again, so when you're reviewing this video, you get to see some of the things that are in the video. But I'm going to be walking around here, around the corner, to link up with Alan Lynch, the owner of the Cross-Eyed Bull. And Alan's telling me he's got some pretty neat stuff to talk about here, and I'm pretty fascinated about it myself, Alan, because I love to camp, love to hike, I love cast iron cookware. Is that what it is? Cast iron cookware. And I don't really know what the heck I'm doing, and you're going to give me a crash course on what they are, what you do with them, how old they are, and all that. So how you doing today, Alan?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you again. I'll tell you what, why don't you just take the show here and tell us what's going on, and we'll focus the camera in on it as you talk about it.
All right, well, today we're going to talk about cast iron, various pieces and sizes and ages of cast iron, a little bit about how to clean it, and this is just a little small skillet. This is a newer skillet made by Lodge, which is one of the companies that still make cast iron.
Well, hold up a second. Now, I guess I got to ask this. You said it's kind of new. If I got a new cast iron skillet, we were talking about season. Can you talk about that real fast?
Well,
What you do?
You could go down to Academy or Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop, and you can buy a brand new cast iron. Lodge still makes cast iron, but there is a vast difference in the new cast iron that's made now and the cast iron that was made, 50 years ago or longer.
What would that difference be?
Well, the difference is in the quality of the cast iron. And you'll notice this is a newer piece, and when I say newer, this is probably 25 years old. All right, but if you went down and bought a brand new piece today and compared it to this piece, the quality's still not as good, because if you look in your cast iron, you can see pores in the cast iron.
Yeah, I've noticed that, yeah.
And when you cook in those pores, the food goes down in those pores and it sticks, and it makes it a lot harder to clean. A lot of people tell you that there's no difference in the quality of cast iron. Well, they don't know, because there is a difference.
Well, now you're hearing it from the expert. You see that? I noticed that too, because I'm seeing some of these cast iron pots and stuff, and I can see they've got more of a slickness to it.
That's right.
Whereas the ones that I have, some of the newer ones that I got from Academy, you put your hand over it and you feel like orange peel.
Right.
And so I can see what you're saying about keeping the food in there. All right, so go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So, like I said, when somebody talks about newer cast iron, something made 25 years ago is still considered new cast iron, especially when you compare it to, say a piece like this. This is made by Wagner Ware, and it's probably at least 75 years old.
You can see it. I can definitely see the difference.
You can see the difference. You can see how, even though this is dirty from sitting here, but it's still got a great smooth finish.
How does that happen? Do you have any idea how one gets the finer finish as compared to the newer ones?
Well, this was all handmade. 75 years ago, we didn't have machines to make stuff.
I got you.
And we didn't skimp on the quality of the material that we used.
Now you see that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're even considering getting cast iron pots and pans, Alan here, he's an encyclopedia when it comes to knowledge on all this kind of stuff. We have all these discussions prior to these recordings, and I'm learning all sorts of stuff, but we're limited for time here. So he's going to be showing us just some different sizes, different styles, and what you can use them for.
Well, this is a griddle, and it's made by Stony Hollow, and this is probably the oldest piece I have. It's easily 100 years old, and it could be 150 years old. But,
and the purpose for that, you would use it for what?
As a griddle, it was to cook for one person. You could fry a steak on it. You could fry an egg on it. It was just something quick. It sat on top of a cook hole in a wood burning stove. It heat up quicker, and it was just to cook for one person. You could cook anything on it. You could cook meat, you could cook bread, you could cook anything on it. But You know, this piece has a little chip here, and I've kept it because it's such a unique piece. But the antique value of this piece, if it didn't have that chip, would probably be about $350.
My
That's
goodness.
how old it is, and it's just that company's been out of business so long. You know. Here's another piece. This is a bean pot. And it's an old piece, but you see the quality of the inside of that, how slick and smooth it is. And when you have cast iron that's like that, it's easier to clean when you get through with it. And that's the thing that people don't like about cast iron is it's a little more work to clean it. But
Now, I don't know if you can see that, ladies and gentlemen, but it's definitely slicker. And I think I cut you off though about seasoning the pot. So let's say you get one of these newer ones. Is there a way to potentially eliminate because it's not as smooth as the older ones?
Well,
seasoning it.
sure, I mean, you can season it multiple times, and that makes it easier to clean when you get through. But you do have to start out with a good quality pot or skillet. You know, when we buy cast iron, sometimes we buy cast iron, and I'll use this one as an example. I took this one to a show, and it got rained on, and so you can see the rust is coming in on there. What we do to that is we'll take it out there and we put it in a wash tub with a 50-50 mixture of vinegar and water, and we'll soak it for about 2 or 3 days, and then we'll just take that out of there and take a piece of wire and clean that off, soft steel, and scrub that off, something like an SOS pad,
And then you reseal it.
and then we re-season it.
See that?
And the way we do that is once we get it clean, we'll put a real thick coat of oil on it, or Crisco, or whatever, lard, whatever you choose to use. We put it in a preheated oven for about 30 minutes. Take it out, wipe it down real good, let it cool, and then do it again, at least twice. And that's the way you season them. Of course, by using them, you build up a coat of seasoning on them
Right.
over time. You know,
That's why the worst thing you can do to a barbecue joint is make it move after 100 years, right? Because everything's so
Right,
seasoned.
and you can see how this pan's been seasoned when you look at the inside of it, and you flip it over and look where it's been sitting on the stove. You can see the difference in the layers. This has been well-used skillet, has several layers on it, and it would be what I'd call a good, well-seasoned skillet.
You showed me this piece right here. Somebody rigged this one up. Why don't you tell us about that piece?
Yeah, well, this is a trivet that would go in a Dutch oven, and this is a homemade one, but they manufactured this where it'd be easy to clean your Dutch oven when you got through. This would sit down in your Dutch oven, you know, and you put your bread on there and cook your bread. When it was ready, you could take a pair of pliers or a lifter and lift that out, take your bread off, and you got a clean pan. You don't have to go back and clean your Dutch oven when you get through. It's just a homemade piece.
And now you've got different sizes here. You've got all the way from the single serving to this large pan down here.
Now here's a real good quality skillet. This skillet it's probably over 100 years old as well, because right back here on the back of it, it's stamped Montgomery Wards.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, Montgomery Wards didn't make anything. They bought and sold, but they haven't been in the cast iron business in a long, long time. And you can see the finish of that. It's almost like rubbing a piece of wax paper. It's just probably the best quality piece that I have.
And you've got lots of them here. Okay, and as I'm panning around, everybody, you'll see. Oh, show us this one. This is pretty cool for the wood stove.
Yeah.
We've got something pretty unique here that goes over the pipe of a wood stove.
This
Alan's
is
gonna
just
tell us about.
it's
And
just-
ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're at the Cross-Eyed Bull in Grove, Texas, between Belton and Gatesville on Highway 36. So give Alan a call and check him out.
This is just a decorative stove top covering that would go on a wood cook stove or a wood burning stove to heat your house with, whatever. And it just sits on there, and it's just a decorative piece for your smokestack to come out of. Just a real unique piece. You don't see those very often, and it's probably over 100 years old as well.
Be a great accent piece for somebody who's got that type of stuff in their home. Now, and you've I wanted a sidebar over here. You said you guys have been in the wagon business and the rancher business and all that, and you come up with these lantern holders, and I want to tell people about those. I think those are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Just tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's just a piece that we developed over the years. That it would go in your wagon beside your chuck box, hang your lantern on. You can see we've got one displayed over here, or actually a couple of them. But
You know, it's something simple like that that makes all the difference when it comes to convenience.
sure, and it's hand forged by a blacksmith that does work for us, and almost every time I sell a wagon, somebody buys one of those to put on
Well,
their
that's like a
wagon.
no-brainer. That's like a car jack for a car. You got to have one.
That's right.
Now, do you have any special type of hand tools or utensils that were old school, or
Well,
is it basically you can use
this is
whatever?
a piece that we keep around often, and you know, I buy every one of these I find. This kind of fits into your business some. This is an old tool developed to pour lead when you're making bullets.
Yeah.
And if I had 100 of these, I could sell them, because I have people come in looking for them all the time. People that want to pour their own bullets and
That's
stuff.
right.
So we try to always keep a couple of those around, but they're not easy to find, I'll tell you. Yeah. And then, of course, we got this Big Daddy skillet here. I'll show you probably the world's biggest skillet. That would be for somebody doing pack trips,
Or if you upset the wife, she can hit you over the
yeah,
head.
she can double clutch you with that one. Yeah, that would be for somebody cooking for a large group of people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Cross-Eyed Bull in Grove, Texas, and there's just so much stuff. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I come in here all the time, and I get drawn to these pots and pans because, like I said, I like to camp, I like to hike, and I like that old school, old method of doing things, and this just fits the bill. So if you're like me, or you're interested in checking it out, or a whole bunch of other things, maybe next week we'll talk about all the old types of tools, because I'm into that too, because when the power goes out, I need to have some way to do stuff. But anyway, Alan, why don't you tell us how they can get a hold of you and on your website and eBay?
Okay. Well, we're located halfway between Temple and Gatesville on Highway 36, a small community called The Grove. You can reach us at 254-717-6400. We're on Facebook at the Cross-Eyed Bull, and we also have an eBay store at Cross-Eyed Bull 254. We'd like to see you out here. Come on out and see us.
Sounds great. Alan, thanks again. Always appreciate your time.
All right.